let's talk about PHP code editors and IDEs. A computer program does what you tell it to do and not what you want it to do. So computer, it's an electronic device. Whatever you want it to do, it do not do by himself or herself. But what you tell it, how you will tell it, you will be program it, how you will be doing some coding or you will be giving a set of instructions. So what you tell the computer to do, that particular program will do accordingly. There is a question, how to write an efficient, error-free and well-structured code. So if we are talking about the program that we tell the computer, we give the computer a program and tell some certain amount of instructions and the computer do according to that particular program. So how to write the efficient, error-free and well-structured code so that the computer can understand fully well and it executes so quickly so that we get the responses at a very fast rate. The response must be quick. The execution of tasks must be faster. So how to write such particular efficient and error-free code? The right selection of code editor or IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So which is the right code editor or which is the right IDE that helps to produce effective, performing and structured code. So that is very important, which IDE or which code editor you select. So as of now, there are thousands of lines in a code, but with different styles. And a single miss of semicolon, you must have gone through various programming languages so far. You must have worked upon C, C++ language earlier or any of the programming language. So if you miss even a small semicolon in any of the statement, then it comes out to be an error in the complete program and your whole code do not get compiled up. So if there are thousands of lines of code, even with different styles, with different indentation, with different font formatting and all. So if there is a miss of a single semicolon, that can create a bug and which is not easy to find out. But if you use the code editor, it becomes easy to get instant error of missing things at the time of code. Even some editors autocomplete the required symbols, which enhance the quality of the code and the performance as well. So there are plenty of code editors available, and even some of the editors have the enhanced capabilities that they automatically judge your instruction and they put a semicolon at the end, or they complete the required symbols accordingly so that your program can be error free, or they can pop up or they can just highlight that there must be a semicolon because some instruction is being ending up. So such type of code editors helps you in writing an efficient code for the quality of the code, and such editors will help you to enhance the performance as well. There comes a question, what is the difference between code editors and IDEs? IDEs stands for Integrated Development Environment. So what is the difference between code editor and IDE? So an IDE is a complete package where you can write the code, you can compile the code, even you can execute the code, and even you have provisions to debug your codes as well. If you want to debug, the IDE provides you with that particular capabilities as well. So they have complete libraries to help you out in your programs, provide hints and make aware about the common mistakes of PHP programming. So IDE environment, it is the complete integrated development environment which provides you with plenty of capabilities and which makes you aware about your common mistakes that you are having in your PHP programming side. On the other side, code editors, they are having the functionalities of only the code editing, and you can use them only to write error-free coding. So if you consider the code editors, they provide you only with the enhanced capabilities for writing the error-free code. But whereas IDEs, it gives you the complete package for the writing, the compiling, the execution, and the debugging of the code as well. So usually IDEs, it supports only single language for which they are built, and they have their compiler or debugger embedded into it. So for IDEs, they are, when you install an IDE, their compiler or their debugger also gets installed along with the installation file as well. But whereas the code editors, they are more general and supports multiple languages for writing the codes. So in common, they both can help you in code completion. So if we say that we can ignore code editors because IDEs are providing us with greater capabilities, that is also not true, because code editors helps us to write the error-free code, and they supports multiple languages for writing the codes as well. So in common, they both help you in the code completion, provide plenty of hints so that you can choose which particular command or which particular instruction you want to write out in code sections. Even the few of the code editors has the IDE functionalities as well in their paid or the subscribed, that are the pro versions. So these are the difference between the code editors and the IDEs. So although choosing a compatible code editor or IDE, it depends upon your preference. So PHP framework, workflow requirement. So what type of requirement you are having, what type of workflow you are dealing with, what type of PHP framework you will be considering upon. So that all selection makes you the impact on what a compatible code editor must be or what a compatible IDE must be. So here what we have concluded in this is the selection depends upon developer's preference. So which code editor you are preferring as a developer. So which code editor is more reliable, and which code editor is providing you with the better performance. So that all parameters depends upon the selection. So in a nutshell, the selection of whether to work on the code editor or whether to work on some IDE, it all depends upon the user who is going to develop the application. So moving ahead, let's talk about few of the IDs and the code editors. So first, starting off with the top 4 IDEs for PHP development. So these are the first 4 IDEs. There are plenty of other IDEs as well. So first one is PHPStorm, then the Netbeans, Visual Studio, and then the Eclipse. So code editing, it's compatible with IDE, will be a fun as you have the complete opportunity to check out your final outcomes without struggling over uploading again and again. So these code editors provide you with the full IDEs where you can have the upload button as well, which can help you with the quicker access to the uploads on your host machine as well. So you can enable advanced features with pro versions or through additional add-ons. So you are having plenty of additional functionalities as well on this IDEs with their pro versions or by having their advanced use of the add-ons. So few IDEs that are in the top level. These are the PHPStorm, Netbeans, Visual Studio, and Eclipse. These are the top 4 IDEs for PHP development. So let's talk about each of them in a certain more detail. So first one is PHPStorm. So leading in the list due to its high compatibility and user trust. So it's the number one because of its high compatibility with the different platforms, and the users trust this particular application. So it was initially released in 2009, and it supports multiple platforms like Windows, Mac, and Linux. So JetBrains built it on IntelliJ IDEA, first of its kind Java IDE. So PHPStorm, it provides on the flow error prevention and code refactoring along with major PHP framework support. It's a combination of PHPStorm, PHP, and DB-SQL. So if we talk about PHPStorm, the platforms it supports, it's the Microsoft, Windows, Mac, and Linux. So supported languages, it supports plenty of versions of PHP, starting from PHP 5.3 to so on, including the HTML and JavaScript and many more. So pricing, if you go with the pro versions, it's approximately USD 199 for the very first year, and then it depends upon your uses as well. So more features, it provides you with the code quality analysis, PHP unit testing, and it supports GitHub and Perforce compatibilities as well. Then the second is the Netbeans. So second in the list is Netbeans because of its vital reviews and user ratings. Its multi-language support makes it more popular among PHP development geek as it supports Java, PHP, C, C++, HTML, XML, Groovy, Javadoc, and JavaScript. This is free of cost IDE, allow developers to code desktop, mobile, and web application on any platform, Microsoft Windows, Mac or Linux or Solaris. So it provides you with this free of cost IDE. Then it is initially released in 1996 by a student project named Yelphi, and after that in 1997, Roman Stanek, it started company based on this IDE, and commercially it released as Netbeans. So in 1999, Sun Microsystems bought it, and they open sourced the Netbeans IDE. So this stands at number two, a glimpse of this IDE. The platforms it supports is Windows, Mac, Linux, and Solaris. Then it supported languages Java, ME and SC, JavaScript, HTML5, PHP, C++, XML, Groovy, Javadoc, JSP. And the price is free because it is covered under CDDL or GPL version 2. More features which this IDE provides is integration of Subversion, Mercurial, and Git, NetBeans Profiler. So these are two IDEs. So moving ahead, we have Visual Studio on number 3. So if we talk about Visual Studio, it's a reputed IDE that allows PHP development geeks to develop, debug, test, collaborate, and extend more possibilities. And it provides an enhancements. Visual Studio IDE, it supports 36 different programming languages, including C, C++, Visual Basic, PHP, CSS, that is the cascading style sheets, JavaScript, XML, HTML, TypeScript, CHash, Fhash, and .NET. So even we can use Node.js, Python, and Ruby through the available plugins of Visual Studio. So it provides with different of programming languages. Then it is the IDE that is built up with their services in the latest version 2017. Those supporting Xamarin, a tool that deliver native and hybrid application, and from now mobile users can use same IDE for application code. So Microsoft first released Visual Studio in early 1997 as a package. Therefore, before that, they used to deliver separate IDEs for different languages. So Microsoft earlier to 1997, they were having different IDEs for different languages. But after 1997, with the first release Visual Studio, they are having a package which comprises of 36 programming languages. So glimpse on Visual Studio, the platform it supports is Linux, Mac, and Windows. Supporting languages are C, C++, C Hash, Visual Basic, PHP, and JavaScript. So price, some of the services are free, but there are paid as well. So free to almost 3,000 plus dollars. Then the more features it provides with the cross-platform support, integration with GitHub, Subversion, and other theme tools. So moving on with the fourth one. Fourth ID is Eclipse. So Eclipse has its own user base due to its Java IDE workspace, but PHP developers can enhance their workflow using extensible plugins which allow them to use ADA, APAP, C, C++, C Hash, Cabol, D, Fortran, Haskell, JavaScript, Julia, Lasso, Lua, Natural, Perl, PHP, Prolog, Python, R, Ruby, Rust, Scala, Groovy, Schema, and Erlang. So almost every programming language, most of the programming languages this Eclipse supports. Then the IDE it is supported by the Microsoft Windows, Mac, Linux, and Solaris, and these are available with the public license. So initially it is released in 2001 by IBM and later on 2004. It operates through specially built not-for-profit corporation Eclipse Foundation. The platform it supports, it's Microsoft Windows, Mac, Linux, and Solaris. Languages, it supports plenty of languages. So price is free because it is covered under the Eclipse public license. So more features, this is a rich client platform, supports Tomcat, Gladfish, and other servers, web tools platforms. So that's a brief description about the top 4 IDEs that are available for the PHP development. Apart from this, we have the code editors as well. So we'll be talking about the code editors. Before that, there are plenty of other IDEs as well, such as Vim, Commodo, Sublime Text Pro, Notepad++, Aptana Studio, Atom IDE, Gen Studio, etc. So you can select any of the PHP IDE. The selection depends upon your preference, and you can explore internet as well for more details about the available IDEs for the PHP development. So moving on with the PHP, it's a leading programming language that keeps our work flawless and makes our business grow. So if we talk about PHP, it's a leading programming language and it helps the work flawless and it helps in making the business grow because it is very useful. And if you consider about the web designing part, so it's a very useful language. It plays an important role. It helps the business to grow into multiple cities, multiple countries, and far away all around the world. So then we have top 7 code editors for PHP development. Earlier we talked about integrated development environments, and now we will be talking about the code editors that are available for the PHP development. So moving ahead, top 7 code editors for PHP development. These are the top 7 code editors where we can write the code efficiently, and that helps in writing the code as well. So number 1 is Atom, number 2 is Sublime Text, number 3 is Notepad++, number 4 is Visual Studio Code Editor, number 5 is Commodo Edit, number 6 is Brackets, and number 7 is UltraEdit. So custom code, it needs more attention and accuracy, and And without having the compatible code editor, if we only want to write the code, we get confused which code editor to use, which is the how to write the code more accurately and efficiently. So code editor is not just a doc type workspace. It's like the Microsoft Word, but it can be your assistant sort of a thing, which will be guiding you, which will be helping you in highlighting your errors, and even it provides you with the plenty of capabilities as well. So let's talk about these 7 code editors one by one. The first one is Atom. So it is the top PHP code editor. It is preferred by plenty of PHP developer geeks, and it is used by millions. So it is an initiation of GitHub and free open source platform. Initially, it released in the month of February 2016, and in the meantime of 2 years, it has been topmost code text editor among developers due to its simple workspace and functionalities. So advantages and disadvantages of this code editor. The advantages are easy to navigate interface. It supports command palette, special developer tools, package manager integrated for plugin support. The GitHub community is pretty active in getting any issue resolved if developer is stuck anywhere while programming. Also, it gives you with the fuzzy file finder. So fuzzy based file finder is also included in this code editor. So disadvantages, it is slow as compared to other text editors. That is the main disadvantage. The CoffeeScript needed to write the packages is also not available in this code editor. No Corona package, and difficulty in handling large files. So that is the cons of this code editor. So platform, it supports Windows, Mac, and Linux. There are plenty of coding supporting languages with this code editor supports. Price is free as it is covered under the MIT license, and more features, it supports the open source, built-in package manager, and the themes. The next is Sublime Text. Plenty of the code editors use, plenty of the programmers use this code editor. So it's a runner-up in the list of top PHP code editors due to complicated interface, but somehow degrade its functional excellence. So at Sublime Text 3, you are allowed to extend the functionality of different add-ons and can customize appearance, code linters, code picker, GIT plugins, etc., which lead to occupy second place in the list. So below that, below the version of below this text Sublime Text 3, these were having very limited functionality, but from Sublime Text 3 onwards, it allows you to extend that particular capabilities to different services and different plugins as well. So pros and cons for Sublime Text. The pros are multi-line selection and editing, offers a cross-platform support, instant file switching, beginner-friendly interface, black screen supports distraction-free editing mode, fully customizable support for TextMate and Windows, then Haze and OpenFL integration via plugin support, syntax detection, and highlighting the error. So these are all the pros of Sublime Text Code Editor. Then the cons are poor support for Linux, opening big files takes time, crashes frequently, the much used package manager is missing from the software, the code editor does not support print option, no toolbar of its own. So these are all the cons of the using the Sublime Text. So this is a glimpse on Sublime Text. The platform is Microsoft Windows, Mac, and Linux. All supported languages are supported by Sublime Text. So price is free to $80 per license. for the users. And then the more features, it provides you with the package manager for managing the package in the GUI mode. The third code editor is Notepad++, very renowned code editor. So it is an upgraded version of Notepad text editor, inbuilt editor of Windows OS, where we can find out advanced features that helps us to write the error-free code, and it supports libraries and syntax as well. So PHP development geeks related to the best HTML editor and one of the easiest code editor, that is the Notepad++, and it highlights the different errors if there are in the program. So pros and cons: built on the Windows platform, can also run on Linux, Unix, Mac, Apple as well. So it can be run on these all platforms using Wine. That is what we are going to do as well. So we'll be installing Wine and then we'll be installing the Notepad++. Then it's a lightweight application, that is its biggest advantage, and it launches quickly. It supports the external plugins, including the macros. Its interface supports tabbed editing, auto indentation and autocomplete, spell check with file comparison, compiler integration and FTP support, drag and drop option for beginners with smart syntax highlighting. So cons are remote file editing does not support HTML, SSH or WebDev. Then does not support large files. Third-party program Wine is needed to run the application on Mac OS. Then the platform it supports Windows, but we can make it compatible for Linux and Apple Mac by using Wine installer. Then supported languages supports plenty of languages, and the price is free. It is covered under the GPL license. More features is open source, macro recording and playback, user-defined syntax highlighting and folding. So it provides you with the plenty of features. Moving on to the number 4, it is the Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code Editor, it's a product of Microsoft. It's powered code editing platform that provides an amazing development experience, faster execution of codes due to lightweight installation, and 30 plus programming languages this code editor supports. So pros are supports more than 30 programming languages, including Microsoft core languages, considering ASP.NET, C Sharp, Visual Basic, and so on. The application installs in very less time due to its compact size. That is the advantage. The Visual Studio Code has a portable version to download in the supported devices. It enables GitHub controls and offers debugging features. So disadvantages are the software takes a huge time in updating on Linux systems, calls for an intermediate improvement in the extension support. The platform it supports is the Microsoft Windows, Mac, and Linux. So supporting languages, it provides with couple of languages, and the price is free. It is covered under the MIT license. More features, it supports the GitHub, code refactoring, and debugger. So number 5, it comes out to be Commodo Edit. So it's a expensive and limited in terms of functionality, programming language support, and productivity, but still it lists the top 7 PHP code editors due to the code support and the ultra fast performance. So it provides you with the plenty of code support, and it is the ultra fast code editor. The advantages is the syntax highlighting and code coloring, the code autocomplete and code indentation and extension supports and macros. So it provides with these capabilities. Spell check is not available, cannot edit collaboratively, large files not supported, tool comes with a hefty fee of $295 without any upgrades and support. And if you want upgrades and support as well, then the cost rises up to $382. Presently, it can be even more as well. So these are the main drawbacks. So a glimpse on this product, this code editor. It supports the application of Windows, Mac, and Linux. Supported languages are Python, Perl, PHP, Ruby, TCL, SQL, Smarty, CSS, HTML, and XML. So it is not free, but it has the price involved. More features are package manager, Vagrant, Docker, unit testing. Then number 6 comes the brackets. So Bracket, it's a open source text editor. It is often by the renowned organization. It's a product of Adobe, who is well known for its unique but productive range of softwares. So PHP text editor, it comes with an auditable extract feature that allows a developer to pick color, measurements, fonts, gradients from a PSD to ready for web CSS. So Bracket software, it provides you with the inline editors for faster access to a particular path of the code and more rapid implementation part. So preview the code, establishing a real-time connection. Brackets is an excellent tool for implementing JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Easily customizable, being an open source platform, regularly updated with the latest features and bug fixes. So cons of this application are split screen is not supported, no full screen or for comprehensive view. Third-party plugins not allowed, as well as it do not support auto-completion of code. Then different platform it supports. It supports Windows, Mac, and Linux. Supported languages are C, C++, VB Java, JavaScript, HTML, Python, Perl, and Ruby. The price is free. More features are live preview, JS lint, less support. So number 7 stands the UltraEdit. So it's impactful, editable, and multi-language supporting PHP code editor. Initially launched in 1994 by the founder of IDM Computer Solutions, A&D Med. The commercial editor has several unique features and plugin supports for PHP development, geek coding experience. The pros and cons for this code editor is multi-selection approach for editing a common code at once. So you can edit the common piece of code in one go. The multi-selection portion is available. Then multi-code and syntax highlighting to notify any error in the code. Integrated FTP for secure file transfer, common column block editing, file and data sorting, integrated SSH, good at handling large files. So it is very good code editor for the large files. If the files are plenty in number and you want to have some common editing or common code and you want to do some multi-selection and editing sort of things using this code editor. So cons, the tool is very other text editors in the same segment. So that is the biggest disadvantage. Then a glimpse of this code editor. The platform it supports is Windows, OS, Mac OS, and Linux. Supported languages are C, C++, Perl, PHP. Different versions are also supported. Then HTML and JavaScript. The price is not a free application, it's a paid one. And more features is bristling fast large file handling, integrated FTP clients, and layouts. So in this presentation, we discuss about the top code editors that are presently working on. But these are not the 7 in number. There are plenty of other code editors are there, like the Dreamweaver is there, Stick Edit is there, JEdit, RJ, TextEd, Rapid, Code Anywhere, Text Wrangler, TextMate, Coda, Bluefish, etc. And plenty of other code editors are also available which supports for the PHP development. So in today's presentation, we talk about the 4 IDEs as well as we talk about the 7 top code editors that are available. And we discussed that the selection of the right IDE or whether to work on the code editor, it depends upon the user preference. So whatever the code editor or the text or the IDE the user feels comfortable to work upon, he or she can work on the same. So these are a couple of code editors and IDEs that are available for the PHP code development.